Fans, we need your help with not one but two Memories and Legends shoots coming up as Oscar for Men on a Mission returns Wednesday, October the 24th, along with WWE Hall of Famer, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Thursday, November the 1st. Hundreds of thousands of fans from around the world have enjoyed Memories and Legends with Jim Ross, Warbeard Hanson, Mick Foley, and Tony Atlas. We want you to join the fun live. Admission to the tapings is free, but at the same time, we need fan support to help make this production happen. Visit BostonWrestling.com and use the link below to explore the Indiegogo campaign going on to fund these expensive productions for fans to enjoy for decades to come. Oscar for Men on a Mission will be available for autographs and pose photos the night of the tapings for moderate fee. Ted will not due to time constraints. Remember, no purchase required to attend. We really want fans to come out and enjoy themselves in our ongoing efforts to give you the best value and experience in professional wrestling. At the same time, your support really goes a long way in helping bring Memories and Legends to life. Right now, hear from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on why it's so important for fans both locally and around the globe to help support our in-studio shoot interview tapings. I think if we're able to ever get to a certain point with the assistance of the fans, Tony, I'm sure you'd be happy to come down every week if we could make it happen.
Yes, I would. And first, I would like to thank you, Dan, and Boston Wrestling, because one thing that a lot of fans seem to forget, we ain't going to be around forever. I mean, when I look back on guys that I sat and talked to just last year alone, I mean, just about every year we lose 2 or 3 wrestlers. Vader, yep. Ronnie Piper. You know, in 2010, I lost my best friend, S.D. Jones. So there's very few. Me and our Brutus the Barber Beefcake were talking 2 weeks ago, and we're always so happy to see each other because they very few of us is left. You know, it just seemed like yesterday that I was in Legend House, WWE Legend House, with Rotten and Ronnie Piper. And now Piper is not around anymore to tell his story. He's not around anymore to sign autographs. He's not around anymore to meet and greet the fan. So thanks to the good work of Boston Wrestling and Dan Morella here, you know, you're able to see, you know, us, you know, and it would not be possible. I mean, Tony Atlas would be probably forgotten about if it wasn't for Boston Wrestling.
I don't know if I'd go that far, Tony.
Well,
you're a two-time
you know,
Hall
out
of
of sight, out of mind. But
right.
I mean, people are able to tune in to Boston Wrestling. They're able to hear some of the old stories that a lot of the guys, like some of the stories I tell, the wrestlers today, they was babies. Just like Roman Reigns. You know, his father,
you wrestled his father,
yeah, Sika, one of the Wild Samoan Seekers, was traveling up and down the road with us, and way before Roman Reigns was even born. You know, and like The Rock, you know, I used to sit in the dressing room and babysit Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, with me and his father. You know, we was on tour together. I remember he was a kid. But, you know, a lot of us, like me, Rock and Johnson, you know, we get up in age, so it makes us feel good that we could come to a program like this where people can hear about the way wrestling were back in our day. Kind of like if you get out here, the Rolling Stones to sit here to tell music fans how it was to travel in the days when the Rolling Stones first started their career and when they first did things. So it's a great history lesson of pro wrestling and athlete. So once again, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Boston Wrestling, for giving us the opportunity to tell our stories.
I appreciate that an awful lot, more than you know, Tony. Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Tony, Mr. USA Atlas. How y'all doing out there?
Before we get to the news, some topics of discussion, check out some offers from our great friends. We'll be right back. Are you part of a nonprofit organization, a youth group looking to raise cash for your cause? Stay tuned at the end of this video to learn how you can bring the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation to your town live, featuring the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes. That's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. The coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey.
Syracuse, this Friday, October 12th.
The Roman Empire is here!
WWE returns live with a massive main event as the Shield's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose collide with Drew McIntyre and Elias in a tag team match. And Bobby Lashley and Kevin Owens battle one-on-one. Plus, don't miss your favorite superstars live, including Finn Balor, Nia Jax, and more. It's WWE Live in Syracuse this Friday, October 12th. Tickets are available now.
Wrestling fans, check out our friends at Performa's state-of-the-art WWE Superstar and Legends Shaker Cups. They're 100% leak-free and shatter-resistant, guaranteed. Mix your powder using Performa's patented action rod technology. Check out new superstars just added to the collection at performabrand.com. I've had one on my desk every day since testing it out. Select your favorite WWE shaker. You'll be using yours every day, too.
Boston, on Sunday, October 21st. It's the WWE Live Super Show with your favorite superstars from both Raw and SmackDown Live under one roof. See Roman Reigns collide with Braun Strowman in a thrilling main event. And AJ Styles takes on Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and The Miz in a fatal four-way match for the WWE Championship. Plus, Ronda Rousey will be live in action as she battles Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. Don't miss the WWE Live Super Show, Sunday, October 21st. Tickets and VIP packages are available Friday, August 24th.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. Dan Marotti back in action, joined by longtime Millennium Wrestling Federation associate, Mr. Dave Carter. A pleasure to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Week 4 of this exciting series.
I love it. I love
Wrestling Insiders, what a year it's been. We've had John Cena Sr. in the panel, Tony Atlas in the panel, and now you in the panel.
Now me. And I'm stuck here. You're not getting rid of me.
That's a different story for a different time.
Right.
The second Cena.
You're not getting rid of me. I'm staying in this seat.
That's what she said on Tinder.
There you go.
And you had to change your number, but that's a different story for a different time, too. WWE Super Show, it was wild. It must have been 75,000 on hand live.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Undertaker and Triple H.
Match was great, but like I said, like I was telling you before we went on air, the match was good, but they did a lot of brawling outside the ring, so they didn't have to worry about Undertaker if he's out of ring shape or anything like that. So it was good. It was a good brawl match. And Kane got involved a little bit. Shawn Michaels got involved a little bit, but nothing crazy. It was good. It was just a good way to do the match and tell a story.
And let's face it, that's what that match needed to be. Triple H is very good. Undertaker is very limited at this point.
Right.
I think short, sweet, to the point, a fight as opposed to a technical wrestling match was what that needed. And that's what they delivered. And I think the fans still want a little more the way they left it at the end. I kind of liked how they did the Undertaker and Kane semi-turn, so to speak.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was great. And the finish was good too, because it was like they had their hands up, you know, they all raised their hands, and they're letting the crowd, you know, really, because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, obviously we knew something was going to happen, but we didn't know when and how it was going to happen, if it was going to happen then or it was going to happen on Raw or whatever. And all of a sudden, they just looked at each other, and then they, boom, friggin' choke slammed and put tombstone pile drive. Triple H was awesome. It was a great way to turn on him. It was good. But what I don't get is, do you think it's going to be a heel Triple H? Because they're DX, and everybody loves DX. How are you going to...
Yeah, that's the problem. You know what? I don't think they're going to book it in the style where DX are going to be the heels, because Michaels is coming back, and everyone's going to go apeshit about Michaels' comeback. At the same time, no one wants to boo Undertaker, and Kane's turned so many times, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I think fans are indifferent towards that, but sometimes those babyface versus babyface matches don't go over well. This has more of a backstory to it, though, especially with Undertaker in his WrestleMania rivalries with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I'm going to be interested to see which way they go with it. We'll get more into Raw in the next segment when we review the TV shows. But it was very effective in leaving the fan to want more out of it. And they gave fans a clean finish on top of it. I thought it was fine that Undertaker did the job for Triple H. Triple H did the courtesy so many times at WrestleMania for him. He returned the favor on a really big show, but it certainly wasn't another blemish on Undertaker's WrestleMania streak if they were to do it there. I don't think we need a fourth Triple H and Undertaker WrestleMania match. And, you know, for their final encounter one-on-one, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was good, too. And like I said, the finish was great, and the match was what it was. And I think if they try to make it more of a wrestling match in the ring, I think it would have definitely not been as good. But it was definitely planned out well. You know what I mean?
The tag team match, Crown Jewel,
that is also a positive as opposed to a negative. I think in singles action, you really risk exposing these guys' limitations. I think in the tag team encounter, the way they have it set up, it really accentuates the positives, what they have. And more than anything, at this point, ring presence in a lot of ways. I know Shawn Michaels is training very, very, very hard down at the Performance Center in Orlando. I cannot see him putting himself in a position where he cannot be, how can I put this respectfully, a 53-year-old version of Shawn Michaels. Is he going to be the Shawn Michaels of 1995? No. But can he deliver in ways without taking those giant big bumps that thrill the fans? Absolutely.
Well, see, this is where I see it, and that we'll jump into a headline that I have already. Shawn Michaels is, there's rumors that he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania 35, and I think that's, and that's exactly what I was just going to say. He's definitely doing
well,
now.
We're going to take that from the rumor mill and put that into the fact.
Headline, yeah.
Unless he gets hurt.
Right, but what I was going to jump on that is I don't think he would get in the ring if he couldn't go. Like, I think he's still going to be able to wrestle to the point where he feels like he can put on a good show still.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like what Stone Cold said. Stone Cold said he'll never wrestle because he can't wrestle the way he wants to anymore. I think Shawn Michaels would be the same way. If he couldn't wrestle the way he wanted to, I don't think he'd get in the ring.
Well, granted, we're talking about very different ages.
Right.
But look at his comeback in 2002.
Well, what is the age difference, though?
Well, that is 2002 and 2018
oh, I thought you were talking about the
is
age.
16
no,
years.
No. I thought you were talking about the age of the wrestlers, like by Shawn Michaels'
No, I'm just talking about the age of his comeback.
Eras. Okay, yeah.
He would have in 2002. He would have been 37, I think.
Who?
Michaels.
Yeah.
When he did that comeback against Triple H that went so well, what was going to be one match turned into an 8-year run.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if you could get a couple of high-quality matches out of him and he's feeling it, why not go with it?
Well, what do you see?
I think he was respectful enough towards the retirement stipulation. I think 8 years is a good enough time.
So what do you see him doing at WrestleMania? Like wrestling who? Is there anybody you have in mind? Have you seen anything? Because I know you sometimes get the loop. Is it going to be a one-on-one that much?
No, his WrestleMania match is going to be a single.
That's okay, so it's going to be a one-on-one.
Against who, that I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I think it's for the better for WrestleMania to be the singles match, and I would not put him in a singles match before WrestleMania. Right. If you want to do a multiple-person match at Survivor Series, maybe. If you want to put him in the Rumble itself, maybe. Those are all cool things. I would not give him that one-on-one singles match until WrestleMania 35 comes. And I tell you, that's one I'd look forward to seeing.
So
I love Shawn Michaels. I have to say, of every professional wrestler I've ever seen as a fan since 1986, working in the business since 1993, working with WWE in 2000, 2001, I have to say, match for match, night in, night out, he is the best as far as putting something different together, putting something creative together. There's a lot of guys who can say he's the best. You can make an argument for a lot of people, but when it comes to watching the archives and WWE Network and so on, if you watch a lot of these guys' bodies of work, there's a lot of similarities in those matches. When Shawn Michaels went out there for those big pay-per-views, it was just a wide, consistent variety of excellence.
Great storytelling.
Excellence.
Yes, great storytelling.
That's what Shawn Michaels is. He is the definition of excellence. I don't think you could find someone to represent in the modern age of what a world champion should be better than the Nature Boy Ric Flair. He was the epitome of what a champion should be. But if you watch a lot of Ric Flair matches, they have a style to them. They have a rhythm to them.
all the spots, pretty much what's going to happen.
It's like putting in a CD and listening to a couple of your favorite songs.
Because you know he's going to do these certain things in the match.
Shawn Michaels is an anthology.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I totally
and you know what? Maybe he's not my personal favorite. He's right up there, though.
Right.
He's right up there.
Yeah,
he's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as, if you could say one person I want to watch so I could have something different, some variety to it, if I was going to go off onto an island and I could only watch wrestling of one person, I think I'd get the most bang for my buck out of Shawn Michaels.
I totally agree. I can't argue with that. I think that's perfect.
My opinion.
One other thing about Shawn Michaels, how do you think he's going to look with the bald head in the ring with nothing? You know what I mean? How do you think that's going to be for a visual? It's going to be kind of, because he has literally a shaved head, no hair on it at all.
No, I know.
Or do you think he's going to wear that bandana on his head like
he'll probably start with the do-rag like Hogan did, and then he'll probably lose it.
It's going to look different. It's going to be a different style.
Well, he retired, and he is a 53-year-old man.
Right.
Hopefully there's going to be something different going on.
Yeah, but the look, he still had the hair before. He cut it. You know, I don't know. I just was talking about the visual. I think the visual is going to be cool. Now, moving on.
Well, I wanted to ask you one more.
Okay.
Did you have more on the whole Undertaker and Triple H thing from ShowDown before we continue?
No, that was it.
What did you think of Kevin Nash's comments?
About
people that were kind of negative towards it, and his thoughts on...
Oh, about thinking that the older guys should... Oh, I totally agree. Because it's proven that the younger guys aren't drawing like the older Attitude Era and the, those eras will draw. You know what I mean? Because if Hogan came back out on a Raw right now, he would outdraw any of those guys just because they know... That's the thing is, it's like, why is it like that? You've been watching longer than me because you're old. You know what I mean? You're older than me.
Thanks,
what do you think? Well, come on. You know what I'm saying. But why do you think that is? What makes...
Well, they came from a different era. They are workers. They were trained how to work. They came from an era where not everything was presented to them on a piece of paper as far as what to say, how to move in some instances. And granted, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are two of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Triple H is, I'd say, one of the great WWE wrestlers of all time. Kane has certainly been a serviceable top-of-the-card character for 20 years. They came before this overdone sports entity. I look at wrestling like this, and I'm sure you probably look at it different, but to me, the cutoff is about 2001. Anything that came after 2001, the people that came after 2001, they're just different to me. I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
No, I get you.
But it's like in 2001, there was a part of wrestling that died. I don't know if it was because WCW and ECW went out of business. I don't know if it's because that was the year the Millennium Wrestling Federation formed.
Could be.
But it's just, I don't know. Wrestling to me changed in 2001 and has not been as appealing to me ever since.
Right, and I get that. But
I'd say this, who have they developed since 2001 that could go and deliver like a Michaels, a Triple H, and an Undertaker?
Other than John Cena?
Yeah. No, I mean, John Cena's excellent. That probably my initial reaction to that came out wrong. No, Cena's excellent.
He's the only...
But he's not a Michaels or an Undertaker. He's really improved over the years.
I think his promo better than both of them. Way better than both. Well, I think you got John Cena up here. You got Michaels down there.
John Cena's a lot better than Michaels.
Right.
Undertaker's kind of a horse of a different color because his promo was always supposed to be
right, but I'm just going by promo-wise.
Yeah. Cena's promos are excellent.
Right.
I mean, he's a very effective speaker. He's underrated. I think his wrestling in-ring really, really improved.
I think you're going to argue with me in this one, but I know they didn't build him, but a CM Punk, too. He's up there with them. I know you. See, that's the thing is, and that's why we're on this topic. If CM Punk came back on Raw, boost the ratings right up, guarantee it.
Yes. As much as I don't enjoy him, yes, he would.
And that's why. But what we're talking about, I think that fits.
He'd be good for business.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm. Well, that's where I'm getting at. Where we were talking about, because you said the old guys, and I think if a CM Punk came back, because you said,
you know what? While he really doesn't have it physically, he is a throwback as far as his passion and love of the business goes. I'll give him credit for that.
Yep.
Yeah, the fans would go wild if he came back. It's a testament to how over he was that the fans still use his chant as a resentment towards what WWE puts in the ring.
Right.
I think that's a testament to how over he was and how much the fans really loved him.
Yeah, I mean...
Would I care? Not really, but I think it'd be good for the business.
I would. I'm a huge Punk fan, but... Whatever. I mean, we have different opinions on that stuff, and that's fine.
That's what makes the show interesting. If we got along, if we agreed on everything, there wouldn't be much interest.
Exactly.
But you thought Kevin Nash was on point.
Oh, right on par, because like we were talking about, it's just not, you know what, and why we're talking about that, I think the wrestling is too important to the wrestlers than the actual storytelling. You know what I mean? I think the wrestling in the ring, make sure they get their jumps, their flips, and all that stuff, instead of telling the story with their promo work and everything like that to build up.
You're talking about the modern-day WWE
Right, because
talent?
you said there's a difference in when you said the wrestler, like...
Well, they've never been given a chance to do it on their own.
Right.
They're overproduced.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In a lot of cases, you have a lot of hands in that pie that aren't professional chefs. That meaning the writing... crew that they have.
How did they do it? My thing is,
if they don't have a wrestling background, it's very hard for me to understand
how they're going to get this
large group of these non-wrestling fans try and cater to a production that is predominantly professional wrestling.
Right, and the thing is like, how did a guy like Vince Russo, Ed Ferraro, like those two guys wrote such a good program back then and make it watchable and had 7, 8 million, whatever watching it, and now they have 25 guys in there.
You answered my question. You answered the point I just made. You could say whatever you want about Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara. We're not going to make that argument.
Right.
But what made them successful was this, and it's what has made so many of the writing people they have now failures. Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara had a genuine interest and love of professional wrestling.
Yeah, and that's
they
true.
knew good wrestling from watching it on TV. They knew bad wrestling from watching it on TV.
Yeah.
They knew what vendettas were like. And now you have these people that come from so many different walks of life that are, successful in those walks of life, but they enter an environment where you're selling professional wrestling, and there's so little of that wrestling from the quote-unquote good old days, people don't even recognize it. I tell you a funny thing, and I'm not going to put over my kid like so many promoters do, but little Marathi, he has told me he enjoys the Attitude Era more than now, just from watching it on YouTube and WWE Network. And that's a 12-year-old kid.
And he wasn't even around
should want
for
to
it.
see Roman
Right.
and he likes Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, but he sees all the, the edgy characters and so on. And he's a smart kid, wrestling-wise. He's so familiar with a lot of even the 80s type characters, just from me warping his brain and being meeting them even as a kid, being so lucky to be around the wrestling he has in his own way. But there's so much talent right now. The athleticism has never been better in any era of wrestling ever. I will beat that point to the death. The Attitude Era guys could not go like they go now.
No.
The 80s guys could not go like they go now. I'm sure anyone could say, well, what about this one? What about... I'm talking about the overall roster.
Right.
It has never been more athletic than it is right now. But it's just a very repetitive presentation. It's a very bland presentation with a lot of the guys saying the same promos every week, wrestling the same opponents far too often, wrestling in the same style every week.
Right.
They don't have enough variety for the guys.
Yep.
And that's, I think, another thing that hurts them too. Those rosters are too small. I know there's not enough room to get everybody on something meaningful even now, but everybody doesn't need to be on television every week. You get sick of it. Even the most popular sitcom TV shows, Walking Dead. What are there, 12, 16 episodes a year of Walking Dead?
Something like
and
that,
the people go crazy over it. Now, you can still have your WWE fix every week. You just don't need to have everybody on every week.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean,
there is not, other than a rare instance like this thing with Michaels and Undertaker of late, but what has been going on lately that makes you say, shit, I've got to tune in to watch Raw this week?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't miss Raw this week. What is that? What is the can't miss? If you can tell me what the can't miss is, I'd be very interested to hear it.
Well, that's the thing, is there isn't, other than when you get that that little notification before Raw that Triple H and Michaels are going to be there. That's about it. But other than that, it's like, what else am I going to watch for? Because you know it's going to be, I mean, I watch it because I love it, and it's just what I do. It's my thing.
It's
my thing. But I understand, like a casual fan like they used to watch back in the day, there was reason, because you would see Stone Cold beginning of the show and at the end of the show, but they would leave it like a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? Somewhere you'd be like, oh my God, what's he going to do next? And now they ended with the match, and it's just like, whatever.
They have lost the ability to, they like to use the word right. I'll always use the word book, because that's just me.
Right.
It seems like they obviously can do it because it's been done, but they've lost the ability to book week to week, angles week to week. They start the process of booking that week's Raw or that week's SmackDown as the show begins with the opening promo. And that's just so boring to me. Give me a reason to want to tune in next week. Give me a reason to want to go out of my way to watch the pay-per-view that's something different than what I've just seen on television for the last month since the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I want to like it more than I do. I really, really do.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And don't get it twisted. I mean, there are good things that happen on Raw and SmackDown still. It's just for a whole show, there's a lot of and a lot of so much like repetitive. But there is some good stuff on it too. There's definitely some good stuff on it. I think so.
The entire presentation needs an overhaul. Even at 3 hours, which is, to WWE's credit, it's very, very difficult to produce that every week.
Where they don't even have the theme music anymore. Something that kicks it off where you used to be like, all right, Raw starting. You know the music that starts?
Yeah.
They don't even do that. It just...
With all the money they're going to be making next year, they need to bring back the pyrotechnics.
Right.
I thought that really enhanced Raw.
And just the music, remember? The music that was playing, you'd get pumped. Something, Exactly. There you go. He's doing it for you.
Okay. I remember the version that was released on CD that had... you know, the guys singing along to it.
Yeah,
And I remember Paul Bearer singing
Oh yeah,
it. That was
Undertaker,
kinda funny,
rest
yeah.
in peace. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The full
Big
melody
Daddy
album.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I actually bought that. And you know,
I
I
did
don't buy
too.
much. I actually got that at Survivor Series 96, the first time I ever went to MSG.
I went to Walmart to get mine, but I honestly bought all of them. Like when they would come out, and then they invented iTunes, and then that was it. And then you just
I don't think
stream.
they're selling too many CDs now.
No, because it's all on iTunes.
Although I know there is one DVD that's been very popular this season as we approach Christmas time. I don't know if you ever buy movies as a gift.
What's that?
I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer. No, not familiar with that one.
No.
Well, our own technical director in the back, Cecil the Lion, a very good friend of Gary Michael Capetta, was actually in I Feel Pretty.
Really?
Yes, he said Amy was eyeing him.
Wow.
Much
I like Amy.
Much like some of your rats
But
on
I like
Tinder
Amy. She's
IU.
thick. She's a thick woman. She's beautiful. I
She's
like her.
thick.
And she's a comedian, so she'll make you laugh all night
Cecil,
long.
was she thick in person? Cecil says Amy was thick in person.
I love it.
What, yay or nay, Cecil? Would you or wouldn't you? I can't see
All right.
without my glasses. Is that a thumbs up? Yay? Oh, nay.
Nay.
Cecil the Lion would not have physical relations with Amy Schumer,
He
ladies
wouldn't.
and gentlemen.
But let's move
Gary's
on. All right,
happy.
let's move on a little bit.
all right.
Let's get through these headlines a little bit. All right, so Raw's actually going to be losing someone. Kevin Owens. He's got to go away. He's got an injury. They're going to take off. I mean, I know he's not in a big thing now, but just to lose someone that actually has a little bit of positivity to the show, he's going to be gone. I just don't know. Does that mean more Shield, more Dolph Drew? Like, what's going to happen?
You know another thing, and I think Kevin Owens is a good talent, but he's just, again, someone I'm not interested in seeing every week.
Yeah.
Him going away for a while is a good thing. It's too bad that it's because he's hurt.
Right.
But to give him a fresh coat of paint, bring him in, what's his little pal there, Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Bring them back together.
And they could,
after
because Sami
WrestleMania?
Zayn's supposed to be...
I mean, I don't know how long is he supposed to be
Sami
out
Zayn's
for?
supposed to either come right before WrestleMania, they said, or right after.
Right after. There is nothing that they can do with him at WrestleMania. Nobody
What about
cares
the Andre
about Sami
the Giant
Zayn.
Battle Royal?
Well, he can go into that. Then.
There we go.
His little cabbie hat.
Okay.
No, and I mean, I'm sure he's a fine human
I like
being,
Sami
but
Zayn, but I understand,
he's
too.
not
there's
believable to me. He looks like a guy
looks
that
cab
would have been
driver.
a jobber in the 80s.
He's the cab driver.
I don't want to watch that, though.
I know.
I don't like
get you.
that.
All right, so we got a new signing at the WWE this week, Chelsea Green. You remember her from from WWE
That's a good
Tough
one,
Enough?
yeah.
She dates Zack Ryder. Woo,
Hey,
woo,
Zach's
woo.
doing well for you. He's got a
Hey,
reason to say
she's
woo,
beautiful.
woo, woo, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Well-traveled
Yeah.
for a younger lady.
And you know what? She can work. She's a good worker. I don't know if you watched any of her work in Impact as Laurel Van Ness, the bride.
I missed that.
Yeah, of course you did. Okay, so we're not even going to go there.
No, I mean, you know what? Anytime they can hire a quality body, especially ones fans are somewhat familiar with already, that's a good thing. I mean, that women's division, as we've talked about on this show, it seems like it's either can be hit or it can be a real miss.
Yeah, and touching on
and they
that
need more hits. And if
Oh,
she
man.
can be a hit,
I
bring
know
her
people
on.
out there, since we're on the Super Showdown a little bit, the Ronda, Bellas, and the Icon, that was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. I'm sorry, Ronda had the cool double armbar at the end, but other than that, that match was awful.
No, they wrestled Riot Squad.
Yeah, the Riot Squad. What did I
said
say?
those other
oh, sorry,
horrible
the Riot Squad, which was
disgraces
terrible.
that they
yeah,
put on TV,
that was
yeah.
terrible too. Yeah, I'm sorry. There was two matches that were terrible. The Iconics match was awful
And people
too.
say, why don't you like the women's wrestling, Dan?
But see, Naomi and Asuka's good, but they should be working the Iconics.
I
They're
wouldn't have minded. How about this? If you're going to give me a women's match, how about they presented it as Naomi versus Asuka? I would have probably liked that.
Or why not have Ronda and Natty versus Asuka and Naomi? Just have a match that you know you could be intense and sit there and watch.
What do they... I continue to bury the Bella Twins every week, it seems like, on this show. And I'll tell you this, it was very difficult to discuss them when John Cena Sr. was sitting here with me for obvious reasons.
Right, because he has reasons, yeah.
But I tell you, we did a poll on our Twitter the other night during Raw. 78% of the fans said they did not want to see the Bellas. 22%, still almost a quarter of the fan base, said they enjoy seeing the Bellas on Raw. To me, their wrestling looks fake. Their promos are uninspired and boring. Their reality show is not reality in any way, shape, or form. There is nothing I want to see with them. They add absolutely nothing. They married well. They dated well. Even the mother married well. That's, to me, what the Bellas represent.
I mean,
I'd like to have Tony tell his Bella Twin stories from when he was on the road with them. When he did that
Beautiful.
run
You
with,
should get him to do it.
Mark Henry. He said the Bellas would be put into the whole bag or the whole train.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be a story that you'll definitely have to
Maybe
get
the
him to do.
Godfather can.
Next time you have Tony Atlas in, make sure you ask that.
You want to hear about it?
Yes,
No?
I would love to know. All right, moving on.
What are they? What's tomorrow in Spanish? Is it mañana?
Mañana, I think. I
What
don't know.
about Manu?
Oh, there we go. Oh, dropping a name. All right, anyways, going on. Kane and Tom Pritchard are going to open a school in Knoxville, Tennessee, which I thought that was kind of cool, but at the same time, has Kane got time to do that with being the, mayor or whatever he is at?
A mayor, again, we're talking about a pretty big city, but it's not always a full-time position.
Right, but
I
the thing
don't know enough about Tennessee.
You look at it like, I would like to know what those people think seeing their mayor wrestle at these shows and do this stuff. Like, how do they feel?
Well, for Super Show,
I think it's great. Personally, I think it's great, but it just, at the same time.
Did you notice that WWE made quite the financial donation to the Knoxville County Rescue Squad?
Yes, I
So
did.
I think that smoothed over anything rough feathers about Kane going to Australia for a couple of days.
Right.
As far as them opening up a wrestling school, fans, we've done this show many times here. How do you break into professional wrestling? If you want to break into professional wrestling, pack your bags, save some money, get your cash together, make the down payment, and you go and train there. Tom Pritchard is a trainer of stars. Kane is one of the legacy characters in WWE history. That's who you want to learn from.
They're going to do well.
Not some indie loser that's wrestled a few times a year for however many years.
Right.
If you want to become a professional wrestler, I continue to believe you have to be trained by someone that did it full-time, professionally, not someone that did it independently or did it as a hobby.
And he's still in it. That's the thing. Is he'll show you how to have longevity.
Well, maybe we should start doing little features on different wrestling schools. I think it would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought. Seth Rollins is involved with the
Black
school
and
out in
Brave,
Iowa. Now, if I want to be a professional wrestler, here's a guy that's been a world champion in recent time in WWE.
Well, and
Intercontinental champion right now,
That's
I think.
awesome, yeah.
Why don't I want to go learn from him as opposed to scrapping together a few bucks and learning from some loser?
Well, that's the thing is there's other ones like Heath Slater. He has a school too, face-to-face wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another one. Like, and he still has his full-time gig in WWE. It's unbelievable. Like, these are the schools I definitely would look at before anything else because you're going to get trained by someone that's been there, done that, and still there.
I really think that I want to do something about that.
We
because
should.
we get a lot of requests. How do I train to become a wrestler? And I know Todd Hanson, Warbeard Hanson of NXT now, he did a video last year in the studio when he was with us. John Cena Sr. did one. I know Tony is going to do one coming up with their words of advice as far as to how to go about it. But that's always been mine. Learn from someone that actually made a full-time living at it. Would you want to train to study? Would you want to coach in baseball with someone that played Little League? No.
No.
You want to learn from someone that was a major leaguer. Right. So,
totally. I mean, definitely something we should do.
But anyway, I think it's great that the two of them are doing it. Tom Pritchard, I don't know where he's been other than I've seen that he works independence now and then. But for him to be able to train people on a full-time basis is only going to help the wrestling business.
Oh, definitely. Make them better.
Yep.
The last thing I had was for SmackDown 1000, Rey Mysterio is going to have his first match, which I don't like because it should have been a surprise. And they just blurted it out on SmackDown saying he's going to wrestle Nakamura for the World Club to be the best in the world of wrestling, which I don't like that gimmick either. Let me go on. I think it's...
This is from someone that loves just
I love it, but
WWE does.
I do not like this World Cup thing. To be the best wrestler in the world, come on. It's getting old. Like, you're going to wrestle for a cup? Like, I don't get it. It's like putting everybody in the ring for the Andre the Battle.
You want to know what my thought was?
What?
Why didn't they just call it King of the Ring?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly what I thought, too. I just didn't say it. Oh, my God.
They should have just called it King of the Ring.
Yeah.
It's a legacy event. They already kind of
And they don't do it, so why not bring it back for this?
Right. They went the legacy route in a way when they did the greatest Royal Rumble in Jeddah last time they were in Saudi Arabia.
I don't know.
They didn't call and ask me for my opinion.
Why tell people that Rey Mysterio is going to be wrestling? Why not make it a surprise?
He shouldn't wrestle on free TV. They
No.
should save it for the pay-per-view.
And not his first time. His first time should be something so big, something that's just shocked. We don't get that in wrestling anymore. Remember there used to be little vignettes? Like the last cool vignettes, honestly, was Jericho. Remember when Jericho, they would do those little things on Raw, like the maple, show different things.
Yeah.
And it was cool. That was the last thing where you're like,
it was a
kind of
very
think it's
effective
Jericho.
way to build up new wrestlers, yeah.
And Jericho's not even new, but it was just something cool for him. Like, I don't get it. Why we don't get that anymore. I remember watching wrestling, and you'd be like, remember the...
There is so much time to fill, yet it feels like it is, and a lot of times 2 or 3 hour
What is
commercial.
so weird is, do you watch NXT Weekly?
No.
They do vignettes for their wrestlers, some of them that you have no idea about. They'll show little things about them, you know?
That, to me, I shouldn't say I don't watch it. I don't watch it on a regular basis just because of the time. It's the best put together wrestling show for someone that I would call a quote-unquote wrestling fan. Right. There's not as much fluff on it. There's not a lot of nonsense and comedy and skits and so on. It's, you know, it's in your face, to the point. Kind of on par with, if I was going to compare it to this generation, it's this generation's ECW. Obviously, it's not violent, but it's aimed more towards that 18 to 34 demographic.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think they do it well down there, and I wish WWE Raw would follow some things with the vignettes and things like that. I think that's awesome because it's just surprising.
I've said it before and I've said it again. The biggest problem with these WWE TV shows is the commentary.
Oh, don't get me started.
No matter how much, whether you watch a little WWE or a lot of WWE, what's the one constant presence on those shows?
Oh, the commentating.
The commentary team.
Yeah.
They are just too bland. They are unlikable. They don't obtain the knowledge and wisdom that
I like
you
Renee
have,
and Corey. Michael, no. Cole, I'm all set. I know we have disagreement there, but me,
I mean,
like
Corey Graves is good. I mean, he knows the wrestling business. I like that.
I like Renee,
he shouldn't
too.
be on both shows. Renee
No. They should be different. I
Like
totally
I
agree.
said, you know-
because if you're going to do the brands are supposed to be different, why would you have the same comment? You should have different for both, right off the bat.
Renee Young, I know I'm supposed to like her because she's a woman. That's the
But
day and
that's
age
not
it's
why I
in.
like her. I think she's actually really intelligent.
Come
She talks.
on.
She's good.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Do you actually listen, or do you just?
I roll my eyes at a lot of it.
Exactly. I think she's good. But
You know,
anyways,
you can sit there and knock it, and while the TV ratings are about as low as they've ever been,
Yeah, but it's not
they're
just
making more
because of the
money than
con-
ever before. So
Right.
they have to be doing something.
and the thing
right.
is it's not just because of the commentary. It's because of a lot of, like we said, the repetitive stuff. People are like, oh, you can watch the Shield once.
Oh, I'll tell you this, the commentary is just part of the problem.
Right.
But to me, when you have someone push emphasis on in a pathetic way, you're not going to buy it. You're not going to believe it. Look at the reactions that the commentary teams of yesteryear used to get.
Why not
Whether
bring-
it be a Jim Ross, a Jerry Lawler, a
Why not
Gorilla
bring them
Monsoon
back?
when
They
he
still
was
can
around,
do it.
Bobby Heenan. People love them. What kind of a reaction does Michael Cole get when he comes out at
terrible.
these shows?
I know, it's boo. No one cares about him.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He's good at
Well,
voiceovers and interviews.
Why
he
can't
cannot
they bring
call a wrestling
Why
match.
can't they bring JR and Jerry Lawler? They can still do it. They're still with the company. Jerry Lawler does Access Television for New Japan. Why can't he do it?
Not young enough. They don't have that
Ugh.
Hollywood look.
Like Michael Cole does? Oh, please. As you would say, please.
You know what? I was happy the Coachman went bye-bye.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Otunga. Remember when
And just
Otunga was going to be on Raw every week?
God.
And then they found
Another
some
one,
movie for him to
waste
do?
of time,
You
waste
got-
of
you
space.
got that right.
I don't know what he does for the company, but for him to be there on the... I don't care about the pre-show, the post-show. He should be on no show.
It's like any other form of sport. A good commentary team can really enhance what you're watching, and a bad commentary team can be a negative. I really believe that the
And
commentary
that's true.
teams are a negative
Just to
right
jump
now.
in the NFL real quick, when you watch a Tony Romo called game, you love it. People have fell in love with that guy, and I honestly love listening to him. Troy Aikman, same thing. Some of those guys you
Yeah,
love having.
Aikman's good.
You know
Aikman's
what I mean?
good.
That's good. That's exactly. I totally agree with the commentary. It does make a difference.
Collinsworth, I've had about enough of,
Oh,
though. He's a
God,
mark for
please.
himself.
Al Michaels I like, but
Mark for him. Al Michaels, I love Al Michaels. Yeah.
He gets fired up, but Collinsworth, yeah, please.
Mark
Yeah.
for himself.
Oh,
Loves
yeah.
himself.
Oh, yeah. I was in, what was the other night?
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, 80. I just got retired by the 89 Cincinnati Bears. Oh, give me a break, buddy. Yeah, but one more thing about Rey Mysterio. I feel like that could have been a nice surprise. Not announce it, nice surprise. Even if it was this, even if he had to be part of 1,000 SmackDown, Nakamura's looking for somebody, and all of a sudden you hear that, who's that jumping out the sky? Something.
And have them wrestle in the pay-per-view.
Right.
Yeah.
Something.
So what are they? So you'll have the match on SmackDown, then the rematch on the pay-per-view,
which I don't get.
I don't understand the need for Revolution returning at SmackDown when they were never on SmackDown to begin with.
Right.
Like I said, unless they have an idea for Batista going into WrestleMania with either Orton or Triple H, it just that lacks common sense. Yeah. Edge is going to probably come and do the same.
Well, that's
that
what
he
I have
always
next.
does.
Is Edge is actually going to be part of the 1,000. He couldn't be part of the Raw 25, but he's going to be here for Edge 1.
Whew. Thank God.
Oh, I love Edge.
Thank God.
Hey,
I think he's great.
he's going to do his show,
The
The Cutting Edge.
But there's not much that he can do.
Right.
He's done that. Okay, great. He's
The
done
Cutting
that
Edge.
before.
What I don't get is, did you see anything about Christian coming back or anything like that? I haven't read anybody else. I did see Vicky Guerrero's going to be there. Teddy Long, and that was about it. That's all I seen. And then
It's a 2-hour show. How many can they really fit?
And that's the thing.
You know
Why not? This should be 3 hours if they're going to bring a bunch of people back and do something.
For a special show like that, I could see them going 3 hours.
You know what I mean? Why not do 3 hours for this one? We don't need Mixed Match Challenge. Get rid of that for the night.
You're the one that likes it.
I do like it, but for something like this, which I'm actually excited about.
What is it on Facebook Watch?
Yeah.
You love your Facebook Watch.
I do. I love it. I think it's great. But this coming week, we could do without it.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll get to Mixed Match Challenge.
And that's all for the headlines, just to let you know.
That's it for the headlines.
That's it. It was a small week for the headline style.
Well, are you looking forward to the SmackDown 1000?
Yes. Oh, definitely. Because, like I said, I don't know everybody that's going to be there. So these are only a few names. Plus,
what do you want to see? Are you excited about Evolution?
Evolution, I'm excited because of the things you're throwing out there, the things that are going through my head. What is Batista going to do? That's my main thing. Is he going to try to set something up for WrestleMania, for Royal Rumble, for something? I don't know. We'll see.
Having him at the Rumble would be a big enhancement in trying to sell 50,000 tickets to the baseball
Tickets go on sale
stadium.
Friday.
Yeah.
So
that would be a big boost to have Batista on there. Because I tell you this, he might not be the greatest technician to ever wrestle, but he's got a very believable personality. The fans buy him, and he's got that Avengers hype going.
Oh, yeah.
And he's coming back now. I know he said, oh, I'll go balls to the wall and do the full tour and, the house show tour and whatnot. Even if they could get him for limited dates, I think people would be much more interested in him than seeing The Rock.
Oh, definitely. Do it.
I think The Rock would get the more attention because he's The Rock. But as far as what he's going to do on those shows, you'll get much more value out of Batista than The Rock doing those same boring comedic promos.
Oh, yeah. I get it. I totally.
Awful. But anyway.
But that's it. That's it for
headlines. Those are the headlines.
That's it.
But you're happy about Kevin Nash stood up for the boys.
Definitely.
Kevin Nash is one of the smartest wrestling people I've ever met. I think you knew about the con we were involved with called CCW a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
When I was going to be put under contract, and Nash was a talent that is the talent relations guy I brought in. And Kevin Nash and I had many interesting he's a lot like me in that he's a late night guy.
Because he likes to drink his
2
wine.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, he's up drinking wine.
Because I heard him on a podcast
and we're having
he
these
was doing late.
conversations about CCW. Yeah. And I tell you this, the conversations I had with this man,
please, right?
I wanted to rip my ears off. Someday I will tell the story of CCW.
We'll have a little storytelling with Dan.
It was only 3 months, but it was an intense 3 months.
Yeah.
But one of the few things positive I took away from it was getting to know Kevin Nash pretty good with 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning talks as he was drinking his wine down in Daytona
that's exactly.
Beach.
When I heard podcasts, that's what he's always talking about.
He's a funny guy and a very, very smart guy. I tell you this, you want to talk about people that could help from a creative point of view.
Oh, yeah.
You can say, WCW, he sucked and so on and so forth.
Because he booked himself into everything, but yeah.
You know what? Give him a shot with eliminating himself as an active participant. That's a smart guy.
Oh, yeah. And he's just sitting at home.
Yeah, sitting at home. He's ready. He's got the big autograph sign-in with
Hogan.
Scott Hall, if you want to take out a small loan, you can meet all 3 of them on October 27th.
What you going to do, brother? Oh, wait a minute. What did he say? I don't do that anymore in that promo that I seen. What you going to do, brother? He said he doesn't say that. He doesn't like that.
Hogan?
Yeah, in his new promo I heard. I don't know why.
Well, you know what? The Hulkster's been good to us. We got the not the 8x10, but the 11x14.
That's a classic one. That's a beautiful picture of him. I love that. See that one behind me right there? That's beautiful.
HulkHogan.com. Down at the Beach Shop, Saturday, October the 27th. If you're in the Orlando area, head on out and meet the original 3 NWO members. That's certainly one that became overproduced as time went on.
Oh, yeah.
We'll bury WCW some other time. Right now, we've got the headlines. Going to take a brief time out. So much to catch up on. All these... we got WWE events galore.
Oh.
You're going to need a pen and paper to keep up with it. We'll be back after this brief time out.
South Haven on Friday, October 12th. Feel the thrill of NXT live with some of the hottest NXT superstars up close and in action. See Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, Shayna Baszler, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, EC3, and many more live. Don't miss the show that everyone's talking about. It's NXT Live in South Haven on Friday, October 12th. Tickets are available.
I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Let us tell you how the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation can help raise cash for your nonprofit cause. Experience the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation live in your city, throughout New England, the tri-state area, down through the Carolinas, out to our friends in the Midwest and beyond.
If your nonprofit organization is looking for an interactive turnkey experience while putting the fun into fundraising, you've met the perfect tag team partner to work with every step of the way.
The MWF offers a variety of packages for groups of almost any size, from our live events at the Boston Garden, the Kowloon Entertainment Dining Complex, and the legendary Suffolk Downs, to high school gyms and function halls. We've presented live events everywhere and anywhere.
Since 2001, the MWF's mission has been simple: keep the kids off the streets. Under the leadership of President David Reese, we bring the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow to your town. Not for a wrestling show, but an event that features action-packed in-ring wrestling, autograph, pose photo opportunities, Q&A sessions, and so much more. It's the best of sports and entertainment. The week of your event, we can add on to the endeavor with anti-bullying campaigns, library meet and greet reads, youth sport concussion seminars, and more.
Our live events are fit for fans of any age from 5 to 95. This fall is part of our new Kids Club program. We offer live event experiences exclusively for the youngest of fans. On the flip side, we can produce a tailor-made event for fans of an older demographic as well. We work with you every step of the way to get the word out to fans near and far on our local television offerings and to over 50,000 fans and growing on our social media platforms.
Your success is our success. If your group has had enough of candy bar and wrapping paper sales and has the energy to team with our passionate fan base, bringing the NWF experience to your community is the answer to put smiles on faces while raising cash for your cause.
Contact us today to get the ball rolling for your custom-made event that you'll want to bring back year after year to your community.
Don't just take it from us. Here are the folks we've teamed up with in the past.
Allentown on Sunday, October 14th.
The Roman Empire is here!
WWE returns live with a massive main event as the Shield's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose collide with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre in a tag team match. And Bobby Lashley and Kevin Owens battle one-on-one. Plus, don't miss your favorite superstars live, including Finn Balor, Nia Jax, and more. It's WWE Live in Allentown on Sunday, October 14th. Tickets are available.
See the moments
Generation X invades WCW.
you'll always remember like never before.
Occupy Raw has taken over.
With Raw, the first 25 years, packed with rare photos, profiles of your favorite superstars, and so much more. From the very first Raw to the 25th anniversary, it's the ultimate guide to WWE's flagship show. Raw, the first 25 years. Available now.
The Queen showing no signs of slowing down.
Charlottesville on Sunday, October 14th. WWE Live returns with a massive main event. Witness WWE Champion AJ Styles team up with Jeff Hardy to battle United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe in a tag team match. Plus,
Mella is money.
see Carmella collide with Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And don't miss Charlotte Flair and The New Day Live. It's WWE Live in Charlottesville on Sunday, October 14th. Tickets and VIP packages are available.
Wrestling fans, welcome back. October is shaping up to be a huge month here in New England with WWE here, there, and all over the place.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Literally.
Everywhere. Oh, yeah.
5 big live events in 4 nights.
Can't beat it.
You literally can't turn around without WWE being in your face in the month of October here. Another great, before we got to get the cheap plugs in. You talk about big. The memories and legends that came out right before Super Showdown. Tony Atlas really shared his thoughts on poor George the Animal Steele.
Oh, boy.
I mean, George, not to be cruel, but George Steele is already 6 feet under. And Tony buried him a little further. He did not like, and I can tell you this, as I mentioned on the show, we worked with George Steele. I interacted with him for quite a bit after that appearance. I liked him an awful lot, you know, but everybody's got a different opinion. That's why those shows are so much fun. Jimmy Snuka is a man that went to trial for murder right before his death, and he had glowing things to say about Jimmy Snuka.
My God.
And then I was a little disappointed in what he said about Bobby Heenan, but in the end, he made his peace with Bobby, so that's fine with me. But Memories and Legends is a great show. If you're not tuning in, they're not interviews. They turn into adventures because Tony Atlas has no idea what we're going to talk about before we start, and he just takes those topics of conversations, and I mean, a GPS couldn't handle it.
It's beautiful, too. You sit there, you can watch it on a nice Sunday night, just tune it in, put some on, just watch him talk. It's like an experience.
For WWE Evolution Weekend, we're going to play what we call the Hall of Fame game like we did for Super Showdown.
Okay.
We're going to discuss, in honor of the women, WWE Hall of Famer Wendy Richter, who Tony had a history with, Sergeant Slaughter, one of the great characters in WWE history, and a commentary on, as well as a tribute to a Hall of Famer we just lost, Nikolai Volkov.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be Memories and Legends.
Check it out.
Evolution Week. And then I tell you, for Survivor Series and TakeOver Week in Los Angeles, we've already taped them. And I tell you,
what do you got?
When I talk about how things got off track really quick, the first episode for TakeOver is going to be what was supposed to be Tony's career from when he left WWF in 1986 to when he became homeless. Where that episode goes, you just got to watch it. Then, the second episode on the Day of Survivor Series, we have Tony explaining what it was like to be a world-recognized superstar that was homeless in the state of Maine. Very interesting story. I learned a lot from Tony during that episode as well. We're joined by the president of the Millennium Wrestling Federation, Dr. David Reese. So a lot to look forward to coming up over the next few weeks.
Nice.
Thanksgiving, we have our annual special where we pay tribute to Paul Bearer and start the Paul Bearer 7th annual Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. I was going to say I was on the phone. I'm not on the phone with anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I was on the keyboard typing with WWE today, and they're ready for it too, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
Big month coming up.
Keep your eyes posted then, definitely.
And, whoa. Wait just a minute now. Don't forget, fans, if you want to attend live, admission is free. Wednesday night, October the 24th. I hear the song.
Oh, boy.
Throw your hands in the air, baby.
And wave
One
like
of the
you just
great
don't
managers of the 1990s, Oscar of Men on a Mission, will be here live yet again. I tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. People may scoff. He wasn't around that long. What did he do? Oscar was with that company from 1993 to 1995. And after some reflection, I guess maybe is the best way to put it, he is going to share his experience.
Sounds good.
And take that, and I'm not saying he's going to share his experience.
The good thing about things...
No. He's not going to share his experience. He's going to share his experience.
Okay.
So that's going to be a very interesting...
Share.
It's going to be a very interesting night.
And it's good. You know, you can't beat that because you're going to see having all different wrestlers tell their experiences in what they went through. It's nice.
I'm just hearing the song over the loudspeaker.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
it's bringing me back.
Yeah.
To the first Monday Night Raw I ever attended at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium.
And he pumped you up.
August of 1994, baby. We had real Undertakers returning. We had fake Undertakers.
Oh, yeah.
The Jackal's tongue was cut out. That's a different story for a different time. But we had Oscar rocking the auditorium, baby.
All right. All right.
I'm ready for a little Oscar.
Right.
And we got a little bad news for the fans that were planning on joining us in studio on October 19th for Tony Atlas. We have to postpone it temporarily. We know Tony's like the furniture here. He's never going to be gone for too long. The furniture will always turn up. But he, in his real world, he needs to take a mandatory CPR class. And I'd almost like to do an interview with Tony about what it was like for him to learn CPR. I'd like to see him with one of those little dummies trying to bring it back to life. I think that would make for a great visual. I don't know. That's
definitely.
just my warped
Maybe we can
mind.
get him to do something for us.
Well, one thing we don't hear on Wrestling Insiders is embedgering.
That's right.
We don't embedger ever.
No.
Never.
Never.
All right. On to the world at hand.
All
in
right.
professional
Well, we had
wrestling.
to kick off the week of wrestling. We had the WWE Super Showdown in Australia, Melbourne.
We hit some of the bullet points already.
We did. Let's just go through it quick. All right. The first match to kick it off was The Bar versus The New Day. And it was Kofi and Xavier to wrestle for The New Day.
You're going to have to work really hard not to have a good match.
No, and it was a great match. And the finisher was...
They gel really good.
Yeah, the finisher was awesome. It was like a backstabber. Kofi had him and Xavier jumped off the... It was really cool. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a backstabber. It looked awesome. It was a great finish. The match was good. New Day retained the titles.
And that sets the pace for the whole show.
It did. It definitely did. The crowd was hot for it, too. And then we had Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, which, another great match. I mean, we've seen it a bunch of times like we talk about. It was good.
It was fine.
I mean...
You know what? They go out there and they work 100%. They lay it in. I'm not a huge women's wrestling fan, but I respect those two ladies.
Charlotte did 2 spears in the match, too, which... Is that something that she's starting to do now? Like her spear, like, I don't, you know? She did 2 during the match, and it still didn't pin Becky Lynch. It ended in DQ. I mean... I thought it was a good match, but at the same time...
out in California, I'm sure Goldberg was talking to Wander at about 5:30 in the morning saying, you know what?
Yo, she's stealing my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's stealing my gimmick. Don't be doing that. He's probably going to go beat up on Ric Flair now. All right. But yeah, like we said, it was ended up, ended in DQ. Moving on, we had Elias and KO versus Bobby Lashley and John Cena. The returning John Cena with some hair on his head. Did you see that?
I don't get that. It has to have something to do with the movie he's doing.
It must be
odd.
It did. You know who he looked like? He looked like Mark Wahlberg, like so
Even
much.
more so than he usually does. Yeah.
It was crazy. And you know what? What I didn't get in that match is Cena only wrestled literally probably for 30 seconds. Is it because of the movies and stuff that he could?
I don't think he's probably and you're going to say, look at how he looked. But there's a difference between the physique and having your ring wind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It'd be like someone taking 6 months off from the NBA and expecting them to go out on the court for 48 minutes. It's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Or if it does, it's not going to be all that good.
No.
So that's why that's probably why they changed it to a tag team match.
Yeah, I mean, and it was good. Like I said, Lashley, it was Cena and Lashley.
My man, Bobby Lashley, baby.
Oh, he was great.
Former Millennium Wrestling Federation superstar, along with his little tiny manager, Leo Rush, another high-quality individual we've had here.
He wasn't there, though. He couldn't make the trip.
They saved the
Your buddy
airfare
Michael
on that
Cole said he could not make the trip. Your buddy Michael Cole.
They saved the airfare on that one.
Yeah. After the match, Cena jumped on the mic and was just saying, my heart's with WWE. Even though I'm going in a different direction right now, I have no idea what the time brings. But
the perfect utilization of John Cena. He's been around as a top-tier player now for 16 years. He doesn't need to be on every week. He doesn't. If you bring him in a few times a year for meaningful things, people will remember it. It'll give it more credibility. And it will be the one thing we continue to complain about.
It's true.
It'll bring importance to what's going on.
Right, and the next time he will be on TV, as he's already reported, is for Crown Jewel for the World Cup class.
And people will go out of their way to watch
it, and it'll be great.
And I look forward to that show because there's no women's matches.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of that,
I shouldn't say that out loud.
The next
match come back to haunt me sometime.
The next match was the Iconics versus Asuka and Naomi. What did you think, buddy? Did you love that match or what?
Next.
Exactly. The Iconics win. The next match.
I mean, you know what?
Oh, he says next, then he's
the Australian girls, they try hard. They seem like genuinely nice people.
They're beautiful women. I'll give them that.
I just don't know what that brings to the product. Whether you want to call it wrestling or sports entertainment, they're not good wrestlers and they're not really good sports entertainers.
NXT. That's where they should be. But okay.
Indie level.
Yeah. Joe and AJ was the next match, which was a great match, great story.
Two world-class wrestlers. Phenomenal wrestlers, no pun intended. The presentation going into that match was just, they lost me so long ago. I think we talked about that before. The storyline is just so weak. Samoa Joe on his porch.
I know.
They lost me.
I like the story, but we've already discussed it past episodes. I thought it was great. I thought the match was great. The story's been good, and I don't think they're going in that direction, barring what happened on SmackDown this past week. So that's good. It's finally
maybe it's done for the time being. They can always go back to it.
Exactly. Going on, and AJ won with the calf crusher. Going on, we had Ronda and the Bellas versus the Riot Squad.
Another embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, the highlight of the match was Ronda doing the double armbar. I thought that was pretty cool for a finish, but other than that, the match was what it was.
I'm just going to keep saying the same thing about the Bellas. Their wrestling looks fake. Their promos sound fake. Their reality show seems fake.
Yeah.
They offer nothing. They might be nice-looking women. They might be fine human beings.
You know who would find a spot for them?
Commissioner Von Johnson?
My man, Vince Russo. But that's for another story. He would definitely have a spot for them.
Could you imagine the storylines that he would come up with?
Oh, and it'd be fantastic.
And they'd be on like 6 times a show.
But it'd be fantastic. You know it would be. It would be.
I'd detest it.
No, it would be
fantastic.
I'd detest
it, but I can picture it. I really can.
It would be fantastic.
You know, I'd like to ask him that. I'd love to have Vince Russo here. I know we've spoken about it amongst ourselves for one of our studio shoots. I'd love to know what Russo would do with some of these current things.
Bro, that's what he would be doing. He loves that.
He's not the most appealing human being in the world to me, but I respect his successes as much as his failures.
He's my man.
Unlike a lot of people that knock him.
Vince Russo would improve the product tomorrow. But anyways, the next match was Blake Murphy versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight title.
That was a big one.
That match was great, and I was shocked.
The popcorn lines were standing room only.
It was great. It was a great match, and they were into it because I know it was an Australian crown, Blake Murphy, which was great. I'm just surprised.
No, it was a smart utilization.
And it was good, and he won. And Blake Murphy won the title. I was just shocked that they did it because usually they don't do it in their home state or hometown. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, you know what? Those Aussies paid a lot of money to bring.
So
that
they wanted,
show Yep. They paid a lot of money to bring the Super Show down under.
It was a great match, a lot of good spots. They tell a great story. Them two work great together. And like I said, Blake Murphy won the Cruiserweight title. We'll see what happens from there. Moving on, we had Braun, Dolph, and Drew versus The Shield. That was awesome. I don't know if you've seen this match or not, but The Shield came out with their mask.
I love that little mask. Oh, I think the only time they ever did that was WrestleMania 30.
It was awesome. I wish they could do it all the time. It was such a good visual seeing them. It was badass. I loved it.
That's how you utilize Roman Reigns to get him over with the diehards more than they do.
Yep, I totally agree.
I like that presentation of him much more than the Roman that smiles and tells jokes.
One odd thing that stuck out to me was when Reigns hit the Superman punch on Ambrose at first by accident. I don't know if that had to do with, we'll go over Raw, what happened at the end of the night on Raw. I don't know if that's leading to something.
It just seems like one of them has got a turn going into Mania.
Yeah.
And Ambrose is the one that makes the most sense. It seems too early to pull the trigger.
Or will they pull the swerve, bro, and have it be Roman? Will they pull the swerve or have it be Seth?
No, they've invested so much time in Roman. And I tell you this, I think Rollins is looked at differently over the past year. Not only the quality of his work in the ring, which has always been superb, but as far as how over he's gotten with the crowd, he's really stepped it up a level.
Oh, I love
and I
Seth.
don't think they want to tinker with that.
I wouldn't.
Ambrose has been gone for a while. They really haven't done anything other than put him with the Shield. They heat him up super right now. I think it just only makes sense to have Ambrose go heel.
And the Shield won. Ambrose hit the Dirty Deeds, and the Shield won that match. It was a good match, like I said.
Who took the pin? Ziggler?
Yeah.
It was a surprise.
Yeah. Moving on, The Miz versus DB, Daniel Bryan. I was shocked how quick that match was. That match was no longer than 2 minutes.
This is very interesting. And again, I like Daniel Bryan. Competed here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation while he was the United States champion. How many times are you going to hear that, folks?
Unbelievable.
But since he's come back, this long-awaited return, he has not done anything exceptional.
But this could be the payday right here.
Absolutely.
AJ versus Daniel Bryan. I think that match, a lot of people want to see, and they're going to get it. And WWE's probably pumped. Dude,
we're 7 months into this return. Yeah. And he's done nothing exceptional.
But the thing is you got to look at this. What are they going to throw him in the title picture? You can't do that.
No, but I mean, they could put him in, highly competitive, high-quality matches.
He was with your boy Sheldon Benjamin the other night.
That was a good match, but I'm talking about featured pay-per-view matches. Right. This was a guy that people cried over when he retired a few years ago.
But you'd have to think, who are they going to knock out of the picture? They're not going to knock AJ out. They can, if they're building to AJ, they're doing it now.
The first 2 programs
you're not going to knock Randy Orton out.
Would not have been Sami Zayn and Big Cass.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to build Cass, though, and then Cass had to do what he did.
They built him right out the door.
Right, exactly. Daniel Bryan won with the roll up there, so he's going to be facing AJ at Crown Jewel, so that was good. It was a quick match, so like
Miz,
I said,
you know what? As long as Miz is allowed to cut promos the way he does, he could lose every match on TV every week. He'd still be over like over.
So
he's
good.
that good right now.
Oh, he's fantastic. And then we ended it when we talked a lot about on the headline part, Triple H versus Taker. And it was a good match.
Makes you want to see more at the end of it.
Oh, definitely.
You know what surprises me about The Miz?
What's that?
He's older than me. I couldn't believe it.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, he's found the fountain of youth that I need to start drinking out of. Like,
Right on.
for my good friends at PerformerBrand.com will give us these great WWE cups. They keep me hydrated every day here at MWF Studios. You can get yours, a wide variety of current superstars and some WWE legends at PerformerBrand.com, as well as WWEshop.com.
And look at the Ultimate Warrior one back there. How cool is that?
Well, you know what? I'm not the world's biggest Warrior fan.
Right, and you don't have to be. That's a cool cup.
I'll tell you, this really is a cool-looking cup.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I
thought about snagging that one, but I thought about, what did he say about Bobby Heenan?
Okay. And now we're going to move on to Raw, this past week's Raw.
It was Raw.
And we had to kick it off with another promo.
I'll tell you this, they took it Raw this week in the ratings. With the football and the baseball.
All right.
It was
you know
Raw
what? It's
going
to be tough. It's going to be tough with baseball. Let's play up baseball now. A lot of people want to watch it.
Well, if it was
Your
good,
beloved
people
Red
would
Sox.
keep going into the wrestling.
Right.
I continue to believe that.
Okay. Anyways, we kicked it off with another promo, which I wish WWE wouldn't always do it. Triple H and Shawn Michaels kicked it off.
Now, you know, I'll say this, and I know
it was a long promo.
Sometimes I can be a little sarcastic. You finish.
It was a long promo. They basically asked Taker and Kane if they had what it took, if they want, are they going to be up to, are they ready? And for Crown Jewel, and we ended up finding out it's going to be Shawn Michaels, Triple H versus Undertaker and Kane, and then we got DX. Which, speaking of that, let me ask you this so you can go on the whole thing, is the cross chops. I couldn't believe Triple H actually did the cross chops. That early, being the position he's in, I was shocked. Just because you know how it is, so it's not even PG anymore. It's more G-rated. It's unbelievable.
Different rules for different people apply.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I'll tell you this. I know, I guess I'm in one of my Dan zones this week, but I thought that promo was very good. It was one of the better parts of Raw. It was very effective. It made you want to see it. You know where they lost me? 2 hours later. Of course, they had to replay the promo 3 times during the show.
Please.
But you go from a great promo like that, strong and effective in making you want to see the tag team match at the next pay-per-view. And what do? 2 or 3 minute music video of all these stupid comedy bits. And Michael Cole with his fake, phony laugh. It made me sick. And you know what it did? Let's see what the score of the Red Sox game is. That's what I did.
I like the promo package just because it brings back memories. And you got to remember.
I don't want to see those things. I'd rather see some of their great matches. I'd rather see some of their great angles. I don't want to see Shawn Michaels in the chef's hat. I mean, come on.
Oh, but come on, Dad.
I
just want to dance.
They're supposed to be going into a serious match with Undertaker and Kane. Why make them look like comedic goofs? There's a time and the place for you to show those highlights.
I think you're
if
looking
you're building
too much
them up
into
for
it.
Undertaker and Kane, you should show some of their strong points.
I think you're looking into it too much. I think they did that just to show some of the fans that didn't know about DX, or just to bring back some memories of how they took over the show.
So they look like 2 old idiots then after watching that music
you're looking
video.
too much into it. No.
I'm going by what was presented to me.
No.
You had 2 guys now,
the promo
one
was
in
just
their
to bring
50s,
it back,
acting like 2 12-year-olds. I don't care about that version of them. If they're going into Crown Jewel to fight Undertaker
when you do
and Kane,
DX, what are you going to do?
You should present them ready to fight, go in for a battle.
But none of their matches were ever like, they were all comedians.
They had a edgy feud with the McMahons.
But they were comedian.
And Big
You
Show.
had Shawn Michaels friggin' holding sausages and pepperoni sticks and shit like that during matches. You can't say it. All their matches were pretty much doing the X chop is comedy. Like, come on.
If I never saw any of their PG-style comedy again, I'd be very fine with it.
Okay. Well,
and
like
it was
you said,
the wrong time
that's one
to play
man's
it.
opinion. Me, I like the promo package. You want to leave some comments, you can on our YouTube right at the bottom. We're moving on. Bobby Lashley versus KO.
That was pretty good.
It was. It was a good match. Too bad KO. One spot I got to say. What about KO jumping over? That was unbelievable. I thought he could have broke Bobby Lashley's neck. That was unbelievable.
I'll say this. I continue to be very happy with what Bobby's doing. And I can't speak enough about Leo Rush.
Awesome.
Not that there are many managers to compare him to, But if there were, he'd be one of the best.
And
I look forward to seeing him as a full-fledged heel.
Oh, he's
Seems
going
like
there.
they're starting to turn it that way.
After the way they did it, yeah.
Right, and same thing with Bobby. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and build Cena and Lashley for WrestleMania as something new.
Which one? What was that?
Cena and Lashley.
Cena and Lashley? Yeah.
I think, in my mind, because for WrestleMania there is a long-term vision, no matter what fans think.
And
I could see them having that tag team match just to start to make them buddy-buddy heading into the Royal Rumble. Cena, hey, Lashley, what's going on with your attitude? Little Leo.
Yeah.
Give Cena some shit about it. Maybe Lashley dumps Cena at Rumble, or Cena dumps Lashley, and maybe that's the full turn for Lashley. Lashley comes out pissed the next night on Raw.
I think they're turning him way before that because of the promo backstage.
Well, they've been doing it slowly, which is nice.
I just think Rumble's too far away. I think more Survivor
I'm sure it
Series.
is, too.
Yeah.
But I could see, if you just want to go with the progression of point A, point B, point C, point D, a few bullet points to get them to that point at WrestleMania, because obviously Cena isn't going to be around every week.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to see that match.
One other thing was KO doing the Stone Cold Stunner. Did you see that?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, he did the Stone Cold Stunner, the kick and the stunner. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's independent wrestling to me.
I thought it was cool. It was a good little spot. You know what? And Stone Cold loves KO. He already says it, so I think he probably gave him the salute to him. Moving on, we had the Lashley Leo backstage little segment. I thought it was pretty good. You know, Leo gets on.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Well, you know what? And I love Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, let me tell you, fans, he is a good human being beyond being a badass in the professional wrestling ring. He looks the part, he works the part. But on top of that is a great human being. What he does for the kids out in the Denver, Colorado area. Bobby is a great A. He is single dad too. Yeah. Grade A quality human being.
Yep. Moving on, we had.
And I don't like anybody.
And moving on, we had the match that I know you're very excited about. We had the rematch between Ronda and the Bellas versus the Riot Squad. And he had to call me up during it, telling me how much he loved it.
You know he's lying because he said I called.
Yeah.
If Verizon told me I had 10 minutes a month to use on my subscription service with them, I'd probably have half left over. Huh? Just give me the text, kid.
There you go. I mean, there's not much to say about the match.
No, it was awful. It was atrocious. I believe that was so bad. That was when I put the
key thing at the end was to set up for Evolution was Nikki Bella and Brie Bella attacking Ronda at the end, which nobody cares is a line he would say. I don't care. It should not be the main event. If I'm thinking of the first pay-per-view, Evolution, I did not think Nikki Bella versus Ronda. I thought Ronda would be in there, but I did not see Nikki, and now it is, and it's oof.
Like I said before we went on the air, that match should turn into Ultimate Warrior and Honky Tonk Man from SummerSlam.
Just beat her up right up, yeah.
I have a friend, I don't know if he's watching tonight, but very casual fan nowadays, and he just said, it didn't even have anything to do with Nikki Bella, just in general, I cannot see Ronda Rousey not killing these girls in a matter of seconds.
Oh, she definitely shit on Bella.
Would the utilization of Ronda Rousey be better? I think we've discussed this. No, actually, it might have been Tony, so I'm going to ask your opinion. Would you like to see the utilization of Rousey right now be similar to Mike Tyson's boxing matches in the late 80s?
Just go out basically 30 seconds, kill him?
Kill them. Huh? And then eventually you run into someone that gives her a problem and you have real interest. Where they have her wrestling like everybody else, she's going to get a reaction like everybody else.
I mean...
Oh, wait a minute. The Raging Beast, Cecil the Lion, is making his way down here, fans. We're not even going to pretend to ignore him. It looks like he's adjusting a camera shot. I thought he was going to give me some kind of a signal.
Well, since we're there, we can talk anyways. Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. Mahalisha versus the B&B, Bayley and... I don't understand Bayley and Finn. Like, why are they doing the Mixed Match Challenge match on Raw now? They have nothing else to book.
Right?
I didn't get it.
You know,
I didn't understand it at all.
To me. It's just lazy. There's so many things to do with so many guys that weren't used on that show. Poor Finn. I mean, Fergal.
Yeah, whatever. We know what happened.
Sometimes it's tough when you know the people.
Yeah, Bayley and Finn won. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. I don't understand that. That's just lazy. No writing for that segment. I don't get it. Anyways, they had a good promo back. Drew, I think he might turn heel. I hope so. Did you see that?
Who?
Drew McIntyre.
He already is a heel.
No, but I mean turning, not
heel. Turning on the faction. I get what you mean.
You know, I thought that was awesome. He walked out on Dolph. I thought that was great.
He could use a manager.
Yeah.
Because you know what? He has so much going for him right now, but the promos aren't that.
Well, maybe once Brock goes to UFC, they got Paul Heyman. I don't know.
I don't think Leo would be the answer for Drew.
No.
I don't think that'd be...
Brock.
No, I'm talking about if you put Leo Rush with Drew. I don't think that would.
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There aren't a lot of managers. Usually they just, put him with the diva. Put him with the woman.
Oh,
That'll get him over.
No.
Well, look at the success it led to in his real life. But
how about the Global Battle Royal, where we got shocked as fans because I didn't know. I named everyone else but Kurt Angle as being that conquistador.
You know, they've done it so many times. It's kind of
Did you know it was Kurt Angle?
Away. When I saw the gut, yeah. He had that big...
Did you know it was Kurt Angle at first?
It took me a second.
Okay, that's all I care about. So it took him a second. So don't let him fool you. He didn't know.
He had that big gassed up gut that all the guys that used to be on the gas...
All right.
You're going to have it in about 10 years,
Okay, we're not talking about...
Well, we're not going to talk about your gas usage.
Anyways, I thought it was a
but
great
Angle's
surprise.
Got it. You know who's got probably the
Angle's
best...
going to be wrestling at Crown Jewel.
The best gas gut of all time is the Sheik.
Oh,
like
yeah.
mid-90s Iron Sheik.
Oh, my God.
His gas gut was... That should be a segment on the show. Who has the best gut with gas? Maybe with Tony we'll do it sometime.
All right, awesome. But yeah, Kurt Angle won that. It was great because now we're going to get Kurt Angle at Crown Jewel wrestling. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
And I think we mentioned this before on one of the previous episodes. I would imagine that will lead to Angle in some kind of a match with Corbin at Survivor Series, which is a good place for him. Right, Angle is someone that doesn't need to be around much.
Maybe he won't wrestle in his outfit that he usually wrestles in either. Corbin, I'm talking about. Maybe he won't wear his Vader outfit that he wears.
IRS circa 2018.
Yeah. Oh, geez, he just needs to spend his...
I hate the look. But I continue to believe there's a lot of potential in Baron Corbin, even if the Baron did not like the segment that John Cena Sr. and I did on him earlier. We get a lot of backlash. Matt Hardy said that Johnny and I should be deleted. I think it was on New Year's Day, yeah.
Wow, I didn't see this.
A fan sent him the link of one of the videos we did, yeah. They're just opinions about characters, not human beings.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't know Baron Corbin enough to have a comment about him personally. As a talent, I think he's someone with the right utilization and him continuing to work hard and improve. I think he could be a main event player.
Definitely.
A WrestleMania main event player. I think Baron Corbin's potential is unlimited.
Moving on, we had friend versus friend. Nia Jax versus Ember Moon.
What I want to know is how many people picked up their remote controls and changed the channels when that match was on? Is there anything about that match that anyone wanted to see?
If you're a fan of them, I mean, don't get me wrong, Nia's gotten better, but Ember's awesome. Ember's awesome in the ring.
You know what? Ember Moon is a female I think is pretty good.
She's a good bum machine.
But there's just nothing I wanted to see the Red Sox and the Yankees at that point.
Well, I mean, it's playoff baseball, and as a big Red Sox fan, obviously, you would have turned it on. You would have
I would have put it on for any game. Yeah. Or you know what I would have done? Even if I didn't change the channel, I would have been looking at my phone. I would have been looking at the computer, as I often do work when the wrestling shows are on. But it wouldn't have held my interest if I didn't change the channel.
Okay, well, moving on. Trish came out. Trish Stratus came out, and you texted me during this and said you were pumped about it. You thought it was the best segment of the night.
Yeah, I know. Lita was looking really good. She looked like she had one of Quincy's $3 outfits from the Salvation Army. She looks like she got dressed at a yard sale, I believe is the phrase that I used with you. I mean, come on.
They brawled a little bit. Why did they take it? Because it was rumored it was going to be Trish versus...
Well, they already announced them as two singles matches.
Yeah,
so
why did they put them together?
They didn't have much faith in the two singles matches.
All right, well, there you go. That's why. I mean, either way, we're going to get that evolution. If you guys didn't see, it's going to be Trish and Lita versus Mickie James and Alexa.
Get your tickets now.
Right, it's going to be at the Union Deal. Well, it's not Union Deal anymore, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, so yeah, it's Union Deal, New York, whatever. It's going to be there.
Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah, Nassau Coliseum. Moving on, we had...
Sunday night, October the 28th, live on WWE Network.
Can't beat it.
You can get 30 free days clicking the link below. If you're watching the YouTube version, if you're watching it on television, you may say, why is he pointing at his crotch? I don't know.
All right. Moving on, we had Bobby Roode and Gable, this time in a tag team match, versus The Ascension. Again, we've seen this match. I've counted. We've seen it 4 weeks. This was the 4th week we've seen some kind of rendition of this match, and this time we got the tag team match. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. It blew my mind, but, I mean, it was a good match. They worked hard.
Oh, yeah.
They worked hard. They worked hard.
They did, but you know what? It was a presentation where everyone watching, you know what they all said to themselves?
Nobody cares. Right. Gable and Roode won. And then the best part of the best part of the night was AOP coming out though during the match.
I like them doing that. I like AOP's presentation.
Akam and Rezar, because last week you asked me and I couldn't remember. It's Akam and Rezar.
Whatever their names are. I don't like Drake Maverick as the manager. It
they
is
beat
not
up everyone
thrown on me.
He was wearing a leather jacket, though.
I don't care.
Oh,
I want to see Paul Ellering in his leather jacket with the Wall Street Journal.
He's too old. He don't want to travel.
That's not what he said.
Well, I don't know why.
He can't deny his age, obviously. But
maybe that's why Vince wants him to.
He doesn't have a problem with the travel.
All right, and then there was a surprise. I didn't even know this was going to happen. Paul Heyman had a promo.
That was pretty good.
Now, let me ask you this, because the promo was about all, Brock Lesnar and all the crown jewel. But I thought about this. Do you think WWE would have Brock go in as WWE champion and UFC champion?
I'd love to see it. It would benefit both companies.
Because he talked about that.
It would benefit both companies big time as far as fan interest goes.
How would UFC feel about that as him WWE?
If I was UFC, I don't want people thinking about fake, quote unquote, and you know my thoughts on the word fake,
right.
But to the average Joe, I wouldn't want quote unquote fake pro wrestling involved in my presentation.
Better question though. Would the commentary team for UFC actually say anything about him being the WWE champion if he did go in as that?
Yeah.
You think they would mention that?
They
because
have
what you're saying. Yeah. I think so too.
I
and you know
couldn't
what?
see him coming out with the belt.
No, obviously
I think if they could ever put a deal like that together, if Lesnar wound up challenging Cormier or whoever, I know Cormier has a match in MSG, whoever it may be, I think it would add a lot of interest to their pay-per-view from casual fans that are wrestling fans. I think it would get some mainstream attention on, ESPN and Sports Illustrated type magazines and websites. I think it'd be good for both. I remember when I was in Vegas when that fight happened, Cormier, who was it on July 4th weekend?
It was Cormier and Stipe.
Exactly. I was there for that one. I can't remember the guy's name, but I was there for that one
He
live.
was there, but he doesn't remember.
I follow the UFC business trends. I'm a casual watcher, but I respect what they do a heck of a lot.
And that's what we want. We want the casual WWE fan to come watch it.
And that's what I said to the little Dutch boy when we were leaving. I said, that could be a win-win for both of them if they ever let Lesnar do both and he stayed champion.
People are probably going to get mad at us, but I totally agree with you. Brock as WWE champion would be fantastic.
Imagine if he came out at WrestleMania holding both belts in the air like that. That would be awesome.
It would be fantastic. That's what people have an open mind when we're talking about this, too. Think about that visual. Him having the UFC title. If he can win, if he does win it, him as the UFC champion and the WWE champion, having both belts on his shoulder or however he wears, one around his waist, whatever. Having both belts. Think of that visual, how cool that would be. It would just be so cool. It would be. It would be awesome.
That would be a moment for the ages.
Yes.
It would be believable. People could get lost in the semi-reality part of it, the semi-fantasy part of the pro wrestling aspect of it. And the bottom line is it would be good for business for both parties, as long as he doesn't do anything disrespectful in either place.
Right. And the opponent for Brock Lesnar, I have no idea, but the visual of him and both belts would be fantastic.
Here's a question, and you'd know the answer better than this. Do you think he could beat Cormier for the title?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
I mean, as long as he has his, not so much the cardio, but he's got to have the wrestling skill still, because they're both great wrestlers. I know you know that, right? Cormier's a wrestler and Brock's a wrestler. I think the wrestling would all depend on who has the better wrestling skill, because I think at the end it's going to come down to that. Blow for blow, it showed that Cormier does have a pretty good chin, because Stipe did hit him with some good shots and he took it. You know what I mean? So it would all depend on that.
I should also add my good friend, Aljamain Sterling, came away with a big win at the UFC event in Dallas last month.
I didn't even know you were friends with him. Well, it's good.
You learn something new about me every week.
We'll have to talk about that off camera.
I forgot all about that.
Let's move on. The Shield versus Braun, Dolph, and Drew. Once again.
It seems like that match has taken place in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, yes.
816 times.
It did. I think it was 818 times, though. I counted.
Hey, here's the thing. If you don't watch it every week, it's a great match. Yep. If you see it at a live event, it's a great match.
Yep.
But if you're the type of fan that wants to watch Raw every week, it feels like you've seen it ad nauseum.
Oh, yeah. And it was a good match. It was. It was definitely a good match. Drew won with the Claymore kick. But after the match, it was they got out of the ring. Dean Ambrose walked out on him after they lost the match.
I was worried.
Yeah, I know you were. I say, I was worried too.
Yeah, I lost a lot of sleep over that one.
I'm just asking you, what is that? What is that? Is that something because of...
They're teasing a turn. I think the turn is eventually going to happen.
How soon, though?
I don't think very soon.
No.
I think they will reunite, be all buddy-buddy, and then you'll see a turn closer.
What I can say about this, though, is at least WWE left you with a little cliffhanger for next Raw.
Yeah.
It was something. It was a little nibble. It wasn't a bite. It was a nibble. It wasn't the big bite.
It's like you were on Tinder.
Okay. Yeah. You know when you see that, you see a girl nibble. Yeah. All right, let's go on. We're going to talk about SmackDown now.
All right, what do we got?
Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch.
Way too long, and they were off.
Within 3 days of each other.
Severe.
3 days of each other.
I almost brought it up when you were going down Super Showdown, but they were too completely different matches. It's like two aliens.
Oh, it was so long, too. It was 3 segments. I counted the commercial breaks. 3 segments.
Way too long.
Oh, double count out to boot.
And then you saw that big spear where Charlotte ran at the speed of Reno Chastain.
You texted me during it, too, but it was a double count out, which you go 3 segments and you don't give us a clean finish.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can't
No, it wasn't fine.
You can't have a clean pinfall in every match.
Right, but if you're getting the fan to watch 3 segments and then that happens, I feel like that's not doing justice.
No. What about the fans that used to go to the shows and they get an hour time limit draw?
But that's different.
Why?
It's a different visual. We can't even get 2 million fans to watch it. You probably just... You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Hey, I'm not defending it. I'm just going with the logic.
All right, well, moving on, because you know what?
We're not going to they're going to wrestle again.
Oh, yeah,
it's going to be
next week, yes.
And again, and again,
so we had,
and again, and again.
This was a good match, too, coming up. The Crown Jewel World Cup qualifier. Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy.
Another big first-time matchup here on SmackDown that we should have saved for a pay-per-view instead of putting it on free TV.
But they did tell a good story. I loved how Jeff did the knee and kept on beating on the knee. And Joe sold it so good that, you know, it was definitely good.
I go by the theory, you make the people pay for the first encounter.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But it really isn't because they wrestle on...
When you're done with the pay matches, then you put it on free TV.
You're talking about for WWE because they did wrestle on Impact.
Oh, no, I'm talking about... In this world, nothing exists other than this bubble.
Okay, so you're saying strictly WWE. Okay. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, definitely free. But it was a good match, and it ended with the ref stopping the match because Joe's knee, which... do you know if anything, Joe's going bye-bye for a little bit? Or?
I just think it was storyline.
Storyline, okay, so it wasn't anything they need injury or time off.
I haven't heard anything about Joe being injured or having
Jeff
to
Hardy
miss any of his
is qualified for the World Cup. Going on, we had Miz TV with Mrs. Guest as AJ, and then DB came out, Daniel Bryan.
It feels like that talk show segment.
They talked a lot.
And I like Miz, but, you know, it's overdone.
At the end, it was AJ and DB shaking hands, which I'm looking forward to that match at Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
that match. 2 former MWF superstars collide.
Boom.
In Saudi Arabia, the kingdom.
You can't beat
that. Saudi Arabia, baby.
Where can they see that match? Is it on any...
WWE Network. We can get 30 free days.
There you go.
If you use the link below, I will not point down again because some people might get impure thoughts.
Beautiful.
And we don't want that.
Exactly.
This isn't the world of Aragon and Robbins.
And then going into from Miz TV, Sheldon Benjamin came out and faced AJ.
Hey, I was happy about that.
It was a good match, too. Sheldon, man, he can work. I wish they would push him a little bit more for something.
Hold on. My good friend, Shelton Benjamin, that is 6 years older than me.
Wow.
Shelton, in case you ever come across this, you know, I like to...
He looks great.
Throw that in. And if fans, if you ever do meet Shelton, please do us a favor and ask him about his favorite match of all time that took place here in Boston, Massachusetts, Monday, May the 2nd, 2005, when he lost to Shawn Michaels in the Gold Rush tournament on Raw. One of his favorites. You should ask him about that.
Do it.
Shelton's a good man.
It was a great match. AJ won.
Not on enough, but hopefully it's a sign of things to come. He's been in 2 feature matches the past 2 weeks now, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Moving on, we had Aiden English and Rusev. What did you think about that?
Every time I see it, you want to know what I think?
What?
This guy isn't going to have a job in a year. I think they're going to put, almost like when they turned Sandow on Miz, or you know, when they broke up. They eventually didn't have anything to do with Sandow. I don't wish that. I think English is good at what he does. I just think he's going to go nowhere fast without Rusev. WWE breaks up these teams in tandems way too fast. They have the idea to break them up, and then they don't know what to do with them.
Well, the outcome was, obviously,
nobody
cares. Aiden English lied. It didn't have nothing to do with anything, and that was it. And we'll see where it goes from. It's going to obviously build to a match, some show, probably Crown Jewel, maybe next week on SmackDown. We will see.
I'm interested to see the fan response to the wrestling.
Our main event was the slim and in shape Big Show versus Randy Orton for another qualifying match.
They did not remind the fans that was the main event of Survivor Series 2015 right here in
No, they would not do that. That didn't exist.
That was a rough night at the office, so to speak. That Survivor Series was rough.
Let me ask you this.
All 3 Survivor Series in Boston.
Do you think Big Show ever had a good run in WWE? Since we're on him, how often are we going to talk about him?
You know when I liked him? When they put him with Paul Heyman. When they did the double turn at Survivor Series 2002 at MSG.
My favorite Big
He was good for about the first month when he came in.
I liked the St. Valentine's Day Massacre when he came up from the, did all that. But my favorite thing, honestly, of him was when he impersonated Hulk Hogan during that. I forget what pay-per-view it was. It was so funny. I loved it. He came on the game. That was hilarious.
It was amusing.
It was hilarious.
But you don't do that with a top guy you want to be taken seriously and make money with.
Right.
That's for a mid-card or an undercard guy that you can't push and make money with.
It's true.
When Big Show came in, there was the potential and the belief that WWE was going to use him so much better than WCW, they'd be able to print money with him. I argue this fact, and I'll say this about very few people, that WCW used Big Show better than WWE used Big Show.
Oh, definitely.
I think he was more effective in WCW.
I mean, he did fall off a building at Halloween
He's a
and then wrestled
very
for.
strong guy, too.
Yeah, he fell off the building. Remember, then he wrestled later on that night against Hulk Hogan for the WCW World
Very
Championship.
strong guy.
So he's definitely can take a bump. We learned that. Yeah, the match was good. I liked how Randy Orton did the poke, the finger poke. You don't see that anymore.
He's just doing small, simple.
He did the
heel
rake of the eyes
tactics,
last week.
and they
this
work.
week he does a finger poke. You
The
don't
ear,
see
the
that.
screwdriver with the ear,
Yeah.
the thing with the finger. Now you got the poke.
And with the poke, Randy Orton won with the RKO, which was great.
It defines him as a bad guy. And the problem is nowadays, and it's not the wrestlers' faults in a lot of ways, it's the people that are instructing them how to perform. The heels don't act heelish enough.
Right. I totally agree.
They might have a little bit of an attitude in the promos, but they really don't wrestle all that different than the baby faces in a lot of ways.
But Randy's doing a good job.
Randy Orton, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You go back and watch his body of work outside of the Haunted House match and the feud he had with Bray Wyatt. Everything he has done in his entire career has been good to excellent.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
I don't know how you can say a 13-time world champion is underrated, but in the grand scheme of WWE history, I think he is underrated.
Definitely.
He could have been a top guy in any era.
And that was SmackDown. And we'll go real quick because I know you want the results from the Mixed Match Challenge this
Cecil
week.
wants the gluten-free burger. Come on.
We had Bayley and Finn versus Braun and Ember.
Nobody cared.
And Braun and Ember won. And Carmella and R-Truth, which
Oh,
I love. I
yeah,
love them
they're
together
good,
versus Charlotte and AJ, and Charlotte and AJ won. But Carmella and Truth, awesome. And Carmella is beautiful with the brunette hair. She is beautiful.
I'll have to watch it on my DVR.
Oh, you definitely do.
I will.
But that's
It's
it.
not on TV,
It
but
happened.
I'll watch
That's all for the world of wrestling this week.
All right, fans, if that's it for Little Cena, as we affectionately call him around here, we're
It's
going to
Dave.
take a brief time out. When we come back, wrap up the show.
Owensboro on Saturday, October 13th. Feel the thrill of NXT Live with some of the hottest NXT superstars up close and in action. See Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, Shayna Baszler, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, EC3, and many more live. Don't miss the show that everyone's talking about. It's NXT Live in Owensboro on Saturday, October 13th. Tickets are available.
They're ready to take their rightful place amongst the literary greats. Who, you ask?
The New Day!
That's who. It's the Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. It's the feel-good story of the rise of the New Day. Loaded with games, trivia, coloring pages, and so much more. The Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. Available now, online, or wherever books are sold.
Bangor on Friday, October 19th. WWE returns live.
The Shield is back!
The Hounds of Justice have reunited, but Braun Strowman now has a pack of his own. What will happen when all 6 superstars are under the same roof as Roman Reigns faces Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship? And Ronda Rousey makes her WWE debut in Bangor when she battles Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. It's WWE Live Friday, October 19th. Tickets and VIP packages are available.
It's the biggest event in live entertainment.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
But it doesn't come together overnight. Now, we've chronicled the journey of this incredible in-depth look at the year-long life cycle of WWE's biggest event. Go behind the scenes and get the inside stories straight from some of WWE's biggest superstars with exclusive candid interviews you won't find anywhere else. Creating the Mania, an inside look at how WrestleMania comes to life. Available now.
Portland on Saturday, October 20th. WWE Live returns with an epic main event as The Shield's Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose battle Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Plus, Finn Balor and Elias collide one-on-one. Don't miss your chance to see your favorite superstars live and in action. It's WWE Live in Portland, Saturday, October 20th. Tickets and VIP packages are available.
Wrestling fans, I'm telling you, you enjoyed those great commercials. I enjoyed my nice ice-cold water. You know, some fans believe that there may be an adult beverage in my cup sometimes.
No,
do you want to test my cup?
No, it's straight water. I watch them fill it at the fountain over there. So.
Well, the bottom line is get your own. Yeah. Over our good friends at performerbrand.com. They keep us
And they're
hydrated.
not just for water, so don't let them fool you. You can also put protein in there and anything else you want because it has
They're
the shaker
actually designed for people that go to the gym.
Right, and they have a shaker. And I'm not going to open it up here, but there's a nice shaker in there. If you hear that, there's a shaker in there.
That's what he says to all his Tinder girls.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, we had an exciting week. We're disappointed we have no Tony Atlas October the 19th. We are very excited that one of the great wrestling personalities of the 1990s will be here Wednesday night, October the 24th. There's only one man we could be talking about. That's Oscar from Men on a Mission. Not something we're going to have here on the show, but the next night is the Christopher Nowinski concussion fundraising dinner that happens every place in Boston. It's a big deal, $250 a plate.
Wow.
But it goes to a great cause. I know Triple H is going to be there. Eric Lindros.
Oh, wow.
I'm not the world's biggest hockey fan, but I know
Flyers.
that name. A couple of Patriots Hall of Famers are going to be there for the ceremony.
That?
So you'd have to check out the website.
Okay, I thought maybe you knew.
Not Bledsoe.
Because you pulled, what do you call it, Eric Lindros off. I thought maybe for sure you would know.
No, these are like 70s Patriots.
Oh, okay, so we're talking old.
It's an interesting crowd that's going to be there. And I know myself, Dr. David Reese, the president of the Millennium Wrestling Federation, Vice President Oscar, Dreamy Mimi yourself. There'll be every guy that gets up there to make a speech will be distracted.
The Funky Bunch is going to be there.
Maybe even you.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Maybe even you. Well,
for a prime ticket.
I'm not paying for it. But it's a great take, fans. Hopefully, if you're not familiar with Christopher Nowinski's work, you do. Chris, former WWE superstar, Harvard graduate, MWF superstar back in the day.
Christopher Nowinski.
Christopher Nowinski. He's done a great job with something he truly believes in. His career was cut short due to concussions, and he's done a lot of great work to try and continue to learn about the problems that stem from concussions, to educate, and to prevent it as time goes on. WWE has really learned a lot from Nowinski, too. They've implemented a lot of changes he suggested at the developmental route down in Orlando at the Performance Center, thanks to Mr. Nowinski. So I think he is someone, if you're not familiar with the work Nowinski does now, you will be as time goes on, and I think people are really going to be appreciative of everything he does for something that's not really still known a lot about. So I'm looking forward to that dinner.
Yeah,
then on top of that, we got the WWE live events all over the area in October. We have a surprise we're working on.
Okay.
I wanted to tell you who it is, but David Reese has sealed my lips.
Uh-oh.
Wouldn't be the first time. I feel like I was at home with Linda Moratti. I can't even speak. Then November 8th, November 7th and 8th, Ring of Honor is here in New England.
Yes. What, Lewiston and
Lewiston
Lowell
on the 7th and Lowell, Massachusetts on the 8th, I believe. I know I'm going to be there on November the 8th.
I'm going to be there.
I don't know about Cecil the Lion.
He might be there.
He caused quite a ruckus at the NXT event in Lowell.
Trying to get in the ring, right?
Florida. Well, I know Todd Hanson, Warbeard Hanson, was worried when he knew he was coming. He knew that the Lion has a roar.
Okay.
He was going to be Lion Mane Hanson. There was going to be a new tag team. But anyway. All right, for Dave Carter.
Let me just throw something. I'm just going to give you my Twitter and my handle for my IG is Big D Grand Champ. Give me a follow. Follow me up. You'll like what you see. I have a lot more than just wrestling and everything. No. But he never puts it out there. It's always just his. I want you to follow me too because I have one.
Never put
Big D Grand Champ.
I'm going to put the graphic up for the whole show now as a result of this. But I have never put my Twitter up.
Yeah, but your Twitter is the wrestling. So
no, it's not. That's for the promotion.
Right, but it's still
But
stuff that you
I'm
want.
at Dan Maratti, if you really want to follow me.
No, but it's stuff that you want to put out there. Like I want people to see what I put out there.
I don't want people to know anything about me.
Oh, well, I
lead a
want
very
people to
boring
follow me
life.
because it's definitely worth it. Also, on these things, keep your comments coming. If you think there's anything that we can do to improve the show, you have any ideas to make the show better or whatever, let us know. Because we're always looking to do things differently and make things better. I enjoy doing them, and I want to continue doing them and making them more and more viewable and having fun for the fans and people that watch it.
We may be on hiatus next week. Don't kill us. I'm trying to get him in here on a different day. We'll talk about that off the air. We're trying to make it happen. We don't want to get Cecil angry. He'll head on down to Jersey to see his good friend, GMC. Okay. But for Dave Carter, a man that said on Halloween, don't give me the starbursts. I just want some Hershey. I'm Dan Maratti. We'll see you next time. Good night.
You are fucking crazy, dude.